Hey YouTube and all my fellow eBay sellers, it's Robert back with another video, and my first video of 2021. For those of you who are new to my channel, I'm a part-time eBay seller and I also flip items on Craigslist, OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace. In today's video, I'm going to recap what my kind of November, December sales were looking like. I had a pretty good holiday season. I saw a lot of my higher priced items start selling, getting a little bit more views and watchers. And I think that heading into this year, as things improve, I'm also anticipating with the stimulus checks coming that I'm going to see the same thing I saw when the last checks were issued, and that is that some of my higher tiered items actually were the items that were selling the best for me. So if you can, go ahead and hit that like button for me. It's easy to do. It takes about 2 seconds and it really helps me out. And then definitely subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more, and comment down below with any of your thoughts and what you might like to see me talk about in future videos. But again, going into this year, if you're looking for a little bit of inspiration and you want to get into selling more clothing or shoes, or it's something that you're just kind of starting, it's still a great time to get into it on a part-time basis. I'll kind of recap some of my strategies on what makes it worthwhile as you're scaling. For most of us, it may not be something that we'll want to do full time, but it's a really nice kind of secondary hustle for you. So I'll talk a little bit about how I kind of, personally make it worth my while, where my sweet spots are, and just give you a little bit of insight as to some of these items I picked up and why. So guys, with all that being said, let's go ahead and just jump right into it and take a look at some of the items. I think you're going to like some of these. All right, so I've got about 23 items that I'm going to show you guys, and try to get through these as quick as we can. One quick note, I'm going to be showing you on each page. This first part here, it's sold for. I'm going to have to actually click a separate link to show you what the actual final sale price was, but I do want to make mention that that sale price is before shipping. So that's strictly the sale item. Now I do charge for shipping on basically all of my items. Generally, I make another couple dollars on each item for shipping based on my eBay discount, and I use calculated shipping for an item, and then if I can do flat rate padded envelopes, sometimes I'll save $2-3. But first item here that we're looking at is a pair of Cole Haans, and Cole Haan is a brand that you'll see out there a lot. You really got to be selective on which shoes that you pick, but the original Grands are a pair that I personally like a lot. I picked these up for $10 and they sold for $70 in just a couple weeks. So nice $50 plus return on those shoes, and condition was really important on these. They were in very good shape. I just gave them a light cleaning, and so I didn't have to really put much time into them at all. And as I get more and more involved with this, I'm looking to do less work on each item that I pick up. So condition's a big deal to me these days. This next one here, this is a pair of genuine crocodile shoes. This is what I would describe as a home run item. I paid just at $8 for these shoes, and they ended up selling for $155. And I did have these for about 3 months, but as you can see, that's a great return for an item that you got to hold for 3 months to get over $100 profit on it. All right, this next one is a brand I talked about in a video I did on how to sell men's long sleeve shirts, and I was pretty excited about this brand at the time. I'm finding that these don't seem to be selling for as much as they used to. They still get a lot of views, and I'd say most of mine have still moved, relatively quickly, a couple months, but they're not bringing in the same type of price points that I had seen before. So, here this one sold for $25. I paid $6 for it, so not great, but still making money. You can model your business to have a lot of items that you're profiting $10 to $15 on. I'm really trying to shoot for much higher stuff overall and just less volume. Got a couple Harley Davidson items in this video today. This first one is a suede Harley jacket, and really pretty. I picked this up at a Goodwill and I paid $30 for it, but ended up selling it for $105. So you know, if you're finding a genuine Harley Davidson leather jacket, you can definitely afford to pay. I think the most I've actually paid for a Harley Davidson was a female one, and I paid $40 for that at a Buffalo Exchange, and still sold it for $200. But it was in impeccable condition, really pretty design on it. But you can pay more for items that, you know, you can sell for more. Here's kind of a fun example of, you know, stuff that looks just kind of goofy when you're walking through Goodwills. It's not, maybe not a designer brand that you've heard of, but there's all sorts of brands just kind of like this one. And when I see something that's, you know, got the kind of Western wear look to it, American flag, there's plenty of people out there that are looking for, you know, bold Americana type clothing. And it was new with tags. I picked that up for $5, and it ended up, I took a best offer of $38 on it. So a lot of brands just like this. When you see unique things like this, it's worth looking them up on your eBay app on the phone right there in the Goodwill and seeing if it's maybe worth picking up. And all right, this is the only item I think that I have that is not at a Goodwill in this video. I bought these at a Nordstrom's rack on clearance for $60. I was kind of disappointed that I only ended up getting 120 on them. But again, all said and done, still brought in around $40, you know, total profit after the eBay fees. So, you know, not a bad buy. When I'm paying $60 for something, generally I'd like to make 100 plus on it, but it doesn't always work out that way. So, and when you have something that's sat around for a while, you finally just make the decision, get your money back, move on. And then here's one. I love vintage sports sweaters and jackets like this. I will pick up most of these. Logo Athletic, Nutmeg Mills. There's a couple brands like that that are, you know, usually from like the 90s period. Really cool designs on a lot of them, but they always sell well. I picked this up for just over $5, and it sold for $40. And I only had this for about a week, so you know, kind of basketball season maybe helping, I'm not sure, but it sold quick and for a pretty good return. All right, and then here's a pair of boots. I had never heard of this brand before, Breather Right. The cool thing, you know, I've been selling a lot of different shoes now, so when I stumble on brands that I haven't heard of, you know, a lot of times that means people at Goodwill haven't heard of them either, so they're usually priced, you know, pretty reasonably. And these sold for $48, and I bought them for $4. And you know, I looked at these because they were in good shape. These kind of ankle boots like this sell well. And when I looked up Breather Right on eBay while I was shopping, I did see that there was a market for them, and that some of them sell for pretty high dollars. So that was an easy decision. Here's a great example of t-shirts. I did one of these in the last video. I found two from this brand. They were both $2, and each of them sold for about 20 bucks within a matter of a couple weeks. If you're looking to build inventory and you want to have a business where, you know, you're a little bit higher volume and you're making 10 bucks, 15 bucks profit on each item, these are the type of things that you can definitely do that with. Same thing with this next one. This is an Affliction polo shirt. I paid $3.49 for this. Sold it for $19.99. Got exactly what I asked for this one. Affliction, I found some like thermal long sleeves t-shirts. It's definitely a brand that can sell well. You just got to make sure you're not paying too much for it, because you're probably going to typically find $15 to $30 is what you would sell these for. So if you can pick one up for $1, $2, then it might be worth it. Because $20 to $30 items, you don't have to worry near as often about returns and stuff on them. You know, people generally don't want to take the time to send back something if it's 20 bucks is what they paid for it. All right, and here is another example of just a sweet score at a Goodwill. Picked up two Gucci ties, identical patterns, slightly different colors. One had tags still. This one did not, but it actually sold first. And I paid $3.49 for both of these. This one already sold for 50 bucks. and the other one I actually have listed for a little bit more. So, you know, really excited when you pick up anything by Gucci, but especially when it's in great condition. Like that, like I said, that other tie had tags still, so that's about as great of an item as you can generally expect to find on a trip to Goodwill. Next one, we have another tie, a Ermenegilde Yegna. This is a brand I used to find a lot more than I do now, but I typically pick these up for $2 to $3, and you know, they sell. This one here sold for $20. Go watch my tie videos if you're trying to learn how to sell ties, because there are some key things that you need to be aware of. You know, you want bold patterns. Condition needs to be there. You know, some of the things that I go into more detail in the other video on. Here's another one. Whenever I see something that's new with tags, especially kind of some of these heavy chamois shirts, the type of stuff that you might buy at like a REI or a Bass Pro Shop, kind of like your outdoorsman type shirts, they sell really well. And I had picked up, again, 2 of these. There was a red and there was a green one. The green one actually sold for $45. This one here sold for $36. But both of them I paid $6 for. So, you know, nice little $25, you know, profit on those. Then we've got vintage Ralph Lauren turtleneck polo. I was watching videos a couple years back and saw people saying be on the lookout for your vintage Ralph Lauren with the polo bear on them. And I finally found a turtleneck and paid $7 for this. I sat on it for over a year, but it did end up selling for $41. Now, one of the reasons it sat for so long is because at some point the listing expired and I didn't realize it. So I didn't have it listed for, I don't know, probably several months before I actually caught that it was not listed anymore. So those of you that have a lot of items that are older, it's worth going through, making sure that your listing is still up, you know, that you don't have any typos, because, you know, sometimes you might be disappointed in your performance and it's because there's, you know, mistakes that you're not catching. All right, anytime you guys find a shirt that looks like Guy Fieri would wear it, it's worth looking up. I've bought a couple different brands of shirts that had these, you know, kind of, I don't know if I'd call them like a bowler shirt, but your short sleeve button-ups, usually they're pretty large sizes that I found. You know, these big flames like this. I found this one and then a second one that was red that still hasn't sold. Paid $5.25 for each of them, and this one sold for $35 in about 2 weeks. All right, and then vintage Adidas. This was like a specific series. You can kind of see down at the bottom, it talks a little bit about what this is commemorating. But, you know, bold pattern Adidas, the trefoil symbol was on the zipper front of this. Let me see if I can pull that up. Okay, so this blue Adidas logo, the logo part above it, that's called a trefoil. And any Adidas items that you find with the trefoil on them that are vintage do really well. That's also on the zipper. You can see it on there. Bought this for $6 and sold it for $50. So to me, that's a great great flip. You know, without it being a total home run. Red Wing boots. I cleaned these up a little bit. They weren't in the greatest shape. You can see some scuffs on them, but I was able to get these for $4. And final sale price on these was $50. So, you know, really nice profit on those. Red Wings do very, very well on their boots. Haven't had as much success on some of their shoes, but the boots can definitely pull in $80, $100 sales, or even more, depending on the specific pair and the condition that they're in. All right, here's one I was super excited about. I've searched forever. I found so many great brands of ties, but the elusive Hermes had not been found until just a couple months ago, and I ended up finding 2 of them back to back. 2 different trips, 1 week, and then the very following week I found another one. This one I bought for $250 and ended up putting it up for auction. It went for $36. I put it up for auction because I was a little bit concerned about authenticity, and I had done a bunch of research on how to identify a real Hermes tie. I was pretty confident that this is authentic. It met all the requirements, but it was my first time, so I put up for auction. My next one that I just found, I paid $349 for, and I confidently have that one listed for $125, and I got my first offer on it within a day for 80 bucks. But I kind of held out just because I don't like to give away my really big opportunities that quickly. I like to try and milk those for all that they're worth because they don't come along all that often. And here's an item that you could definitely build your business around on the, really common items that you can pick up for a couple bucks. I paid $2 for this, and here you can see it sold for $29.99, exactly what I asked for it. And it's just a very basic crew neck sweater with a couple little rabbits on it. Not something that a person at Goodwill is going to think too much of to throw a high price tag on. So you can pick that up for $2, sell it for $30. That's the kind of business that if you do want to scale a lot of items, you could do it with that type of product. Another Harley item. It's kind of a mechanic style shirt. I paid how much did I pay for this one? I paid $10 for this. And Harley, sometimes they do get priced a little bit higher, but sold it for $40, and it only took me about a month to sell it. So Harley Davidson is one of my favorite brands to sell. They generally sell really fast too. This is another one of those items I actually paid a lot more than I normally would for, but these were in such good shape. I paid $32 for these and ended up selling them in about a month for $70. Could I have held out longer? Probably, to get another extra 10 bucks or 90, but I didn't want to sit on these for that long. I wanted to try and get my money back since I did pay a little bit more. I'm still making some money on it, and just keep sales going, keep things moving. Notre Dame champion sweater. This sold right around the beginning of the year, on January 1st. So, Notre Dame was in the semifinals of the NCAA championships. I'm assuming maybe that had something to do with me finally moving this, because I had this for quite some time, but I only paid $5 for it. So 5 into 40, not too bad. And lastly, we've got a pair of jeans. I don't do a lot of jeans or pants, but there's a few brands that I do like. I could see jeans being a really big part of somebody's business. If you really wanted to become familiar with jeans and you wanted to spend a lot of time flipping through the inventory at Goodwill, you could probably really be very profitable with jeans. But the good news is there's so much inventory at your Goodwills of jeans, especially in the women's jeans department. The bad news is that it's a lot more to flip through, and a lot of them, to me at first glance, kind of look the same. So they take more inspection than what some of the brands that I search for take. But I paid $5 for this pair of jeans, and they did end up selling for $36. So I did get what I asked for on that pair. Like I said, I don't do a lot of jeans. I've sold maybe a half a dozen pair overall. A few that were new with tags that sold actually for a lot of money, like 70 bucks, that I paid $5 for. But it takes, from what I can tell, it takes a lot of research, because there's a lot of brands out there, and the fit and the style and sizing and all that's just stuff I haven't spent much time on. Alright guys, so there you have it. As you can see, still a lot of opportunity to jump into eBay, doing it on a part-time basis, making it worth your while, and putting some extra money in your pocket. If you guys liked what you saw today, please, if you haven't already, hit that like button for me. Subscribe to see more, and comment down below with any thoughts, questions you have, anything you'd like to see another future video on. And until next time, happy selling and have a great day.